Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Diz Unplugged episode 1169 for the week of March 29th, 2022. I am your host today, Craig Williams, and I am joined alongside by a bunch of great individuals, including Denny Sunderly.
Hey there.
Jackie Gailey.
Hi, everyone.
And Rhino.
Hello.
And we have the Off the Rails crew here with you today to talk a little bit of Disney news and what happened to us in the past week at Walt Disney World that has us in a good mood. So it's going to be a fun episode for you. It's probably going to be a little bit shorter than normal just because this is kind of a last minute thrown together thing that happened when we found out that we weren't going to the studio today, but I'm still glad that everyone here could join us. So let's go ahead and mention right off the top that this show is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. If you like our content and you want to support us, please consider booking a vacation through Dreams Unlimited Travel. It costs you no extra money and you get the support of one of the awesome Dreams Unlimited Travel agents. So head over to dreamsunlimitedtravel.com today for a free, no obligation quote. Now, I am going to save the rest of housekeeping until we get to the end of the show, talking about obviously podcast cruise, DizCon, and any other little random things that we have to get to. But I want to just get jumping right into the news today. And we're kind of going back to the old format because we have a news person joining us today. That news person happens to be the one and only Denny Sunderly. So Denny, take it away with our first news story.
All right, our first news story is Disney Cultural Representative Program returning this summer. It's been announced that the Disney Cultural Representative Program will return in phases to Walt Disney World, with the first representatives returning in August. Now, the search is going to go out and will begin with those who had their 2020 programs either truncated or canceled altogether. So they're going to be reached out to first and given the opportunity to come back and be a cast member again and staff wonderful things like the pavilions and World Showcase. Can't wait for that. Initially, the program is going to reach out to people who live in Germany, Norway, Italy, France, the UK, and Canada. They're hoping as different protocols open and become available as far as travel is concerned, they're hoping to be able to reach out to other countries. But those are the 6 countries that they are going to begin with. Of course, there is tons of information that is on their site. If you're interested at all, if you live in one of those 6 countries, if you're at all interested in being a part of it, go to jobs.disneycareers.com/cultural representative program, or just head to the Disney Careers jobs page and they'll be able to direct you from there. But I don't know about y'all. This has me super excited. I'm so thankful for the cast members who have been holding down the fort in the meantime, but it is going to be great to have people from those specific countries that the pavilions represent back in Epcot. So I don't know about you, but I'm excited.
I'm excited. I think that that's one of the things that I so used to look forward to when we would come on vacation to Walt Disney World. It's just so cool when the cast members tell you little bits and pieces about their hometowns and, you know, their countries where they're from. I think it adds so much to the pavilions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I fully agree. You know, we've been saying it for a long time now that it's great being in Epcot's World Showcase and experiencing everything that they have to offer and the food and such, but it's just missing a little bit of its heart, and that will be returning as these cultural representatives do come back to the World Showcase and other areas around Walt Disney World. And it's just a big win for all of us in this way. And, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of people too who have, you know, they thought that they were going to get the chance to come to Walt Disney World and work, and have just been, you know, sitting on the sidelines waiting and hoping that day would come. But it's coming now. It's coming. And World Showcase will start to feel a little bit more normal again. So once we have cultural representatives like actually really packed in there, plus there's a festival going on, I mean, it's world-class Epcot, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, they do make mention in the big update that was sent out last week from Disney. They make mention that, that they've got the new village, the Flamingo Crossings Village there. So a new state-of-the-art housing complex. So they kind of touched on all bases in the little thing that they put out so that people would be interested in coming and checking it out. And I love this one sentence that they put here in the middle of the release. It says, the cultural representatives play an important role in our storytelling by helping us create authentic, immersive experiences for our guests as they share the country's culture, heritage, and traditions that have inspired our resorts, pavilions, and themed parks. So I love that. They bring so many different facets to what they do at Walt Disney World. It's going to be great to have them back.
And I'll tell you what, I was over at Flamingo Crossings just a couple days ago over the weekend, and it keeps surprising me more and more. I mean, the Target's open. They opened up a brewery there, Persimmon Hollow. I wanted to just try to say it all in one fell swoop, and of course, I'm Craig Williams. That'll never work. But they opened that brewery. There's more and more dining opening up there all the time, and like you can already see like all the CPs out and about walking to and from Target and such. It's like it's kind of weird that a lot of like locals and such are just like commingling in that area with them, because it feels almost like a campus built specifically for people who are doing these Disney programs. But yeah, it's really all starting to come together now in a good way. And if you ever have a chance to get over to Flamingo Crossings, I mean, I recommend it. It's a beautiful little area, and they do have hotels if you're flying in and wanting to stay off property in that area. So it's not like it's completely not.
I didn't.
Perfect. What?
I didn't know there was a brewery over there. Did that just open?
It just opened. When the day that we were there, they technically were still under a soft opening, I believe. But yeah, it's open now. It's the same. It's the same brewery that they have downtown that replaced the Panera Bread on Lake Eola. I know that's like really insider talk right now, but it's a decent brewery.
I didn't know there was one there either. So. I thought that Panera Bread was still there. I clearly don't leave my house.
No, it's okay. You'll leave one day, but I think that's all. Unless we have anything else to say about it, I'm happy to move on to the next news story. If you are, Denny.
Yep, I was just going to follow up, Craig, about the hotels over at Flamingo Crossings. They are official Good Neighbor hotels for Walt Disney World. So there's another little, like they've got the backing of the resort, so it's pretty cool, and it's right down Western Way, kind of out of the direct line of all the traffic and all the tourists. So it's pretty cool. But yes, I'm ready. I'm ready to go to the next story, Craig, if you are.
Okay.
All right. So at long last, the Minnie Vans are coming back to Walt Disney World. So you might remember the week before last, it was announced very, very abruptly that the third-party private transportation between MCO, the airport, and Walt Disney World was ceasing. Like, we had no heads up about this. It just happened. There's a reason why. There's always a reason why, right? So the Minnie Vans returns was announced on Disney's TikTok account. If you are not following their TikTok account, you might want to if you want to keep up to date, because they're sneaking little announcements out on TikTok. An exact date was not given for, on the announcement for when they will be back, but it will be this summer. And so I don't know about y'all, but this is another thing I can really get behind. I'm excited to see those little red and white cars zipping around property again. I know there are cast members who absolutely loved that job. And I don't know what they're up to these days, if they're even available to come back. But I'm glad that those opportunities are going to again be available to them.
I completely agree.
Really like those.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
Oh.
Sorry, Craig. think a lot of people really like those Minnie Vans. I rode in them a couple times when they first came out and started running around, and I just love them because I love that they look like Minnie Mouse, and that's my favorite. And it's very fun. Like, it's just really cool how they're just all brand new. They've got car seats, they've got plenty of room, and it's, we always tell you time is money at Walt Disney World. So when you schedule a minivan in the Lyft app, it's just so fast, and you don't have to wait for a bus. They come right to wherever you are. It's fantastic. So I'm glad they're back.
Yeah, I think that it's something that there are a lot of people out there who have wanted to come back for a long time, and it's more options. And that's something that no one can say right now is a bad thing at Walt Disney World. Granted, it's an expensive option, so it's not for everyone, but it allows a little bit more flexibility in how you and your families want to vacation. So I'm all for that. If it makes people's lives easier and doesn't really impact anything, it's not taking away anything that's currently free, why not? Why not just go with it? So it's good for those cast members. I hope they're treated. I don't want to say this in a bad way, but I hope they are treated in a better way when they come back, because I don't remember if someone was telling me or if I was reading something about it, but apparently the minivan drivers kind of fell into this gap where they weren't quite associated with transportation, but they obviously weren't associated with another department. So they were just kind of their own thing. And they kind of felt a little bit isolated in terms of like celebrations and such. So I don't know. Again, it might have just been something that was a little bit overstretched in terms of the meaning on it, but it's good. It's good that they're coming back. Cast members will be able to drive again, and just hopefully they're part of the entire crew in a good way now. But
definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Now all we need is Magical Express to come back, and man,
yes, please.
We got it.
Yes, please. Could we please have that back?
Okay, Denny, let's move on to the final news story then.
Absolutely. So the final news story is a brand new walkway has reopened or opened in Epcot. Remember those good old days when we could actually walk from the front of the park to World Showcase Plaza, the entrance to World Showcase in a straight shot, pretty much so. Those days are back again. I'm happy to report I was in the park last Wednesday and able to walk those steps myself. While not everything in the center, down the spine, as it's called in Epcot, is completely open yet. We don't have Dreamer's Point, that center circular space. Moana, the Journey of Water, is not yet opened, that type of thing. We do have a brand new walkway. Instead of being diverted back to Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, the new walkway has been opened, allowing us to move from the park entrance back to the entrance of World Showcase. We just got to kind of duck around a little bit of a construction wall, just follow it along. But it was absolutely delightful, as far as I was concerned, to be able to do that again, because I loved when we could just shoot straight to World Showcase if we didn't have something going on in the front of the park. Also, that walkway leads you right by the new marquee sign for Connections Cafe. Imagineer Zach Ridley had shared a little sneak peek at that the week prior, and Jackie put that out so that we could all take a look at it. And just getting to kind of stand there, it was pretty neat. It's in that world bold font. It's going to have a little icon, just like the Connections Creations shop has the little shopping bag icon. Connections Cafe will have its own icon. And of course, there were, a team inside. Team members were painting all sorts of things when I was standing outside. Now it was blacked off. It had, plastic sheeting across the windows, so you couldn't see in. But I was really tickled to get to be there. Of course, you can take you can go through the breezeway into what is now World Discovery from there, or you can continue down the walkway to Creation Shop and then on to World Showcase. And again, this is something that brings me great joy. Little things that come back online at Epcot, I'm all in.
Every time I go to Epcot, I forget to if I'm going for something specifically in the back of the park, I always forget to add in those couple of extra seconds that it takes to walk all the way around through, either going past Universe of Energy and Mission Space and Test Track, or going the other way and walking past the Land and Imagination. I always forget to add that. And I know it's really not that much. It's only minutes, but it's one of those things that you kind of forget how much you miss Direct Pass until you don't have them anymore. And not even just as a visual stance and having the park look a bit nicer after it's going through these renovations. It's a lot easier to walk in a straight line somewhere than having to go all the way around. And as things reopen, I'm sure people who haven't been visiting Walt Disney World a lot will be confused by some of them. So as long as there's good signage and stuff, and it's we're just opening up more walkways, then that's what matters most. But yeah, it feels good to know that things are finally making progress at Epcot in a bigger way, besides just finishing, Guardians of the Galaxy.
For sure. One thing to note, if you're headed to the park anytime soon, one thing that was a little confusing that they tried to do the best they could, I guess, with signage, but was still a little lacking, is the fact that guest relations now, the in-park location is closed while it's going through renovations. So they have you going all the way back up to the front of the park, and that there's a guest relations out just outside the entrance. You don't have to leave the park, which is what I was told by a cast member. That is not the case. And to be fair, it was right after it had started, so they may not have gotten the most updated information. But you looking at the front of the park like you're getting ready to leave, go all the way over to the left. You'll see a little group, a little sign there. They've actually put those plant walls in place so that you're not technically leaving the park, but they're going to funnel you forward and then into the building that houses that guest relations location just outside of the park. There was a good little line when I was there. So pack your patience. But right now, that is the only guest relations location in park.
Yeah.
I've always been surprised that there isn't a guest relations at the International Gateway. I don't know. I've always been surprised that there isn't one back there, but
yeah, that'd be a great spot for it. I mean, there is, you can get ticket assistance there at International Gateway. They can do a few things there, and there'll be, I don't know if they have a GR coordinator stationed there or not, but I would imagine that they do, because there are touch points there, and wherever there's a touch point, there's a guest relations coordinator, because inevitably there's a problem with that touch point. So, but yeah, just to have a full location there, that you're right, Jackie, that'd be a good thing.
I think after everything is finished in Epcot and construction at all the parks just kind of subsides a little bit, I think the next thing I want them to truly fix in terms of helping the guest experience in it, I really want them to fix how they do the turnstiles. There has got to be an easier system. It's not always bad, but I will never understand why when someone's having an issues at the turnstile, they are allowed to they're allowed to, but the operational procedure is, okay, we're going to have you just block this turnstile while a guest relations cast member comes up to you, and we're going to stop this entire line, rather than saying, hey, we're going to go ahead and move off to the side here, and once we get things fixed, then we'll get right back to it and allow guests to keep going through. I've never understood it. Especially, it's how many years has this system been around now, and there's still problems with it every second. I mean, there's never not a guest relations cast member not helping someone with an issue.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. I don't understand why you can't just say why they move to the front turnstile or whatever, or like they're never using both at the same time. And what they'll do too is I hate when they see yours turn green and the one in front of you goes, and then they just won't be like, oh, excuse me, let the person behind you go. And you're stuck there. And I always feel rude because I'm like, well, I kind of have to slip through, and I'm a big boy, so I'm going to be pushing people when I do that. So sorry.
I mean, I don't push people when I go through. I do.
I don't push, but I'm rubbing
turn.
my hot, sweaty body on them.
Well, some people want that, Rhino. Some people probably stop just solely for that.
That's a new tier on Patreon.
Hot, sweaty body tier.
Yeah, the one that I don't think anyone truly asked for from us, at least. I'm saying it's. But then again, I don't know. I don't know.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just want to point out too. It's as the chat is starting to catch up, there is guest relations at International Gateway, and I was 99% positive that there was one there, but then Jackie said it, and I know I don't usually come in from International Gateway because obviously that would mean I'm coming from one of the hotels in that area, something that I don't normally stay at, and so I was like, maybe I'm wrong, but I know I've used it in the past before when I've had issues there, but there is.
Yes,
wow.
They have the ticket window. Yeah, they have the ticket window there at International Gateway, but it's not a full lobby, is my understanding. So you can't actually sit inside and speak with a cast member who can start to rectify your issue. Yeah. But there are the vacation planning windows there.
Yeah, but let's be real. Like, at the Epcot one, there was instances where people would go inside just to get a break from either the rain or the heat, and they would just be kind of waiting off to the side by the windows, as long as there wasn't a line out the door. I know I've seen it a time or two myself too. So sometimes it's better to just have the windows rather than let people completely inside.
True.
That
Jackie, they get a taste of that air conditioning.
Yeah.
Jackie doesn't go to the parks often enough to know these things.
Yeah. Hey, air conditioning costs money. Just remember that. Someone's paying for that, and I don't believe it is built into your ticket price. Or it should be. I don't know.
It probably is.
Well, okay. I'm done. Wait, anything else? Denny, didn't you have one more thing to mention in terms of news with Lightning Lane or something?
Oh, Lightning Lane. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Craig. Durr. All right. So thanks, Rhino. That was definitive. I liked that.
Yeah.
So it has been reworded on the Walt Disney World site. Now, when you go to look up Genie Plus information, that on average, so the wording has been rectified, has been changed to say, on average, those using Disney Genie Plus are able to ride 2 or 3 attractions per day when they start their selection early in the day. And so that has me going, wait, what? Like, that's okay. That's standard fare that we would pay $15 per person per day to get on an average of 2 or 3 attractions. Yeah, that's that. That's what I wanted to bring up. I don't know how y'all feel about that.
I'm gonna talk about that in a second, but obviously we are still we've got to catch up on this International Gateway drama that we're causing. I'm looking at the photos of the interior lobby right now. It's beautiful. It almost looks like something you would expect out of the. It's
there's
literally
an indoor one.
It is literally right beside. You have all the International Gateway guest relation windows, and then to the right of it, there is an opening, and you just walk through that opening, and you can get to the inside door. And the photos inside. I mean, they look beautiful. It's very woody.
Oh, I'm so
glad. Is. There's wallpaper. It looks
wallpaper.
Yeah, it looks great. And I'll be the first to admit. I mean, I think all of us will be the first to admit here, none of us has stepped foot inside of it. Clearly, I'm not going to try to sit here.
I didn't know I could. Oh, that's exciting. I'm going to put that on my Epcot to-do list next time I'm over there. It's just to, walk in the lobby and go, it's here.
Okay. Here's the thing now. Now do we want to know how long it's been open since?
Since 1992?
No. I don't. I'm sure there was one there. But apparently this one has been around since 2019. So they do inside lot. So, wow. Hey. You know what?
Wow.
Hopefully the awesome people at Dreams Unlimited Travel that help you book your vacations know a little bit more than we do.
Oh
my. I'm just gonna crawl under my desk. Don't mind me.
Listen, it's okay to admit that, we say that Dreams Unlimited Travel are the experts in helping you plan a vacation. I don't think we say we're the experts at helping you plan a vacation.
We mean that. We mean that.
That is not in our lower third.
Yeah, it's I love every time I find something new that I haven't done at Walt Disney World. I'll add it to the list of Cinderella's Royal Table and some of the restaurants I haven't eaten at, and you know what? It's on my bucket list now. The guest relations at International Gateway, and when they ask why do you want to come in here, what do you need help with, I'll say I want to feel it.
I just want to cause
I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah,
just happy to be here.
There. Mm-hmm. I want to be in it. So
I want to be where the guest relations people are.
Okay.
Yes.
So taking us back on the rails, so now the wording is 2 to 3. Expect 2 to 3 out of it. I mean, I'm not happy about that, but I'm happy that at least they're being forthcoming with the downsides of Genie Plus and Lightning Lane, that it's not trying to say like, hey, you can do unlimited. I mean, I would rather that they curb expectations on it all. And, if people choose not to read, or they which I'm sure I'm sure a lot of people don't and just like to click through things, but at least it's up front there, so before you buy it, they're like, hey, it's might not get as much bang for your buck as you think you're going to.
Yep.
I mean,
just
I feel
unfortunate
like
because.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Jackie.
I feel like when we used to, back in the day, when we used to make 3 fast pass selections for the day, 180 days in advance, I feel like if we did those in the morning, got them done, we could get on more in the afternoon. And I feel like every time we were down there anyway, we could ride at least a few more attractions between the time we were done with the first 3 till the end of the night when the park closed. So I feel like this is really sad to me. 2 to 3 attractions in a whole day. Oof.
Now, there's not. I mean, so you have lots of opinions to take in from the guests. I'm sure you have a lot of guests who are saying, no, we don't want to plan that far in advance. And then you have the Uber planners who were, no, we loved how Fast Pass Plus worked. We loved planning 3 right at that mark, and we were better than you at getting those big Fast Passes. So don't punish us by taking away the system that we knew and loved. Then you have the people who had no idea about any of it all and just kind of walked in blindly to it. So do I think that this is a fairer system in that way? I mean, kind of a little bit, in that it evens the playing field a little bit, but at the same time, as if you're the Uber planner, yeah, it's absolutely a slap in the face. It took a system that you knew, loved, and knew how to take advantage of, and strangled it. So that's not fun. And then you also have to look at the fact that if you're the Uber planner, chances are you're the repeat customer, or not even a local, just a person who comes down enough to learn the ins and outs of it. And it goes back to that question of, why does it feel like Disney sometimes cares more about the once in a lifetime massive family vacationer than the people who are most loyal to the business? It's kind of confusing.
It's because
Well,
it's that short-sighted business aspect of everything that's going on right now, because I feel like it's just a lot of it's about recouping what they lost during the pandemic. So they'll keep using that excuse for years. And because like because with Disney, whenever anything increases in its price, it can never go down in price. So I feel like that's kind of where they're at with it in terms of their like, when they do like an investor call and they're like, we've had the most profitable quarter ever. And, so it's like whatever they have to do to just kind of keep grabbing and taking. And I've never understood it. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe back in the day when they started whatever they were doing here, the locals weren't as forthcoming as they have been, I feel like, in the last couple of years in terms of people with like annual passes and things like that. But it always does kind of blow my mind that you wouldn't take into account the long-term people, like, because I feel like yeah, I'm not going to use Genie Plus really here ever, and but I'm in, like, when I go in the park, because I don't want to do everything, I'm probably more likely to like sit and eat something and have a drink and go and buy a merchandise or something like that. So I feel like in the long run, we might end up spending more money than people who just come for that big vacation. But because it all happens at once there, it's like, oh, look at this stack of money versus these like $2 bills right here. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. And we could probably do the math and break down charts for ages and ages and ages and never find the actual answer on who spends more money in the long run.
I'd rather not know, for me personally, because I don't want to cry at night when I go to sleep any more than I already do. So Thank you.
Well, I also know too that we're going to get to money spending and talking about our weekend, our what we did kind of in Disney in the last week that made us happy. So I don't want to prematurely put you on the spot.
Who, me? Oh, yeah. Okay. Wait, are you asking me to tell you right now because of what I just said?
No. Well, first off, let me ask the question of this group. Does anyone have anything else to say in regard to any of the news stories that we just spoke about?
I just, as far as the Disney Genie Plus thing goes, I think it's frustrating. I'm a little frustrated by it because it was sold to us as something to optimize our Disney day. And when you're now finding out that on average, like Disney is now being upfront to say, on average, if you start booking them really early in the morning, you're going to get 2 or 3 attractions or experiences out of your purchase. That is not optimizing my Disney day. Optimizing my Disney day would be, I tell you which ones are my most important. You tell me when to show up there, and we get as many of those little babies done as we possibly can on that one park day. But that's impossible, is what they're saying. So, frustrating, just frustrating. That's it.
I also don't disagree with you on that, but it is where it is right now, and hopefully they're taking all of the information that they're getting from this and trying to figure out a better way to utilize this system, because at least with Genie, the free service is also supposed to be able to help you optimize your day, and that's just not the case for it. So hopefully they have a team of scientists and geniuses who are
scientists.
Scientists. I said it.
Making flubber.
Hopefully they have scientists and geniuses who are working at saying, okay, these are all the things we need to fix. So that way, when we get to Genie Plus 2.0 or 3.0, it's finally getting back a little bit closer to what FastPass was like. And then also taking it a step beyond by actually being able to help you optimize rather than telling you, hey, it's 2 minutes into the park being open, we really think you should go to Swiss Family Treehouse right now because it's a walk-on. Like, I feel what?
Do you want the scientists to make it a sentient being or something? Why scientists and not analysts?
Listen, Ask Bob Chapek. Meta. We're going meta and AI and augmented reality. We're going all in on that. The scientists are going to do it, and it's going to be fine. Okay.
As long as the scientists work at the Imagination Institute in the Imagination Pavilion, I'm down.
That's literally all I can think about. Is that what they're going to shut the ride down and make those offices real? Like, put them in there.
Yes.
Listen, I don't. There are clearly scientists. Disney has hired a scientist at some point in time. I fully believe that. I don't know them firsthand, but
one.
there's someone there.
His name is Fred.
It's just
somewhere.
I mean, odds are his name might be John. Even let's look at the most common names. Chances are he works at Disney and he is a scientist.
Oh my gosh,
it's perfect.
Okay. Now that we've gotten this science talk out of the way and we have all, gotten a good grasp on the fact that Disney does have scientists and geniuses working for them, let's talk about something that happened to us in the past week with Disney that has us in a good spirit. And I feel like I teed it up for Rhino, so I might just kick it off to him. I also feel like he said the least amount of things on this episode, so to give him a chance to ramble a little bit.
So what I was excited about in this last week was they released a new lightsaber at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at both Disneyland and Walt Disney World. It was a legacy lightsaber at Doc Undar's. And the reason why I was excited is because it is based off of the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order video game that I enjoyed quite a bit. I played it on PlayStation 4, and I don't play a ton of video games, but I had a nice slew of like Spider-Man and then Fallen Order, and then that was it. And now here we are. I have the Guardians of the Galaxy game, but I haven't opened it yet. And Miles Morales, that was good too. But anyway, the Jedi Fallen Order one was really cool because I played all that before I had watched all the shows, and then I watched all the shows, and it was like, oh, this has all the stuff from like Clone Wars and Rebels and stuff like that in it. And so as soon as I'm done with Rebels, I think I'm going to play through the game again. But the thing that's cool is that the character in the game, he's got a very distinct type of lightsaber that's kind of busted on the end, and I'm going to pick it up because I store it on the ground right next to me for any given moments.
As one does with any $170 purchase. Let me just sit it on the ground and forget about it.
Let me just...
So I can trip
where
over
could I step on it and break it the easiest? I know, right next to this really crappy, low-quality rolly chair. So it came in a fancy box. And it's got, I know what I just said about it being busted, but the fun thing about this one in the game is that you can customize it as you go, and it can eventually become like a double-sided lightsaber. And if you bought 2 of these hilts, you stole that from my Instagram. You did 2-sided hilts. I texted it to you. Never mind. It's because Craig, I got one for Craig too. And so I opened it because I was like, I need to make sure. I opened mine and I was like, oh, I want to see. And then I couldn't figure out because it said it was supposed to come with a connector, and I've never had a double-sided lightsaber. And I was like, oh no, there's no connector in here. I can't figure out. It's missing. And the cast member was like, let me show you. And so the connector is already on the piece, and you have to take it off. And then it'll just connect to another hilt, which is pretty cool. But I don't have big bucks for two of them. So I just opened Craig's because he wasn't there to stop me. So and check them out. So they're pretty cool. But I'm gonna put mine together right here just so you can see it with the lower piece on here. But it's pretty heavy. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think it was gonna be so it's got a piece here, see, and it comes off. And for those listening, this is a round cylindrical metallic thing with black leather on the outside. I actually can't even make a joke out of this one because I literally I don't know how I would describe it differently. But anyway, this is it. So it's what's cool is I've never seen a lightsaber that has this double walled sort of a sheath thing over the blade. And then I like how they did the base, if you're listening, is all kind of it looks like what you would expect if the bottom of a lightsaber blew up. So it's cool. I wish it wasn't blue. but it is. Here we are. Blue is not my favorite lightsaber color, and in the game I made mine green. But yeah, I wish I had known, and I didn't know until about an hour before it was, but they also had a lightsaber meetup, which they do from time to time in Galaxy's Edge. I'm not on Facebook, so I don't know if it was like discussed on Facebook, but I do know there's like an Instagram group because my friend Frankie added me to it because they went and their photos looked really cool. Anytime they've done one of these meetups, I always think just like, I want to go so bad because I want to go with like a camera and just be like in the middle of the lightsaber group to get all the lightsabers like pointing up around you because I don't care. It just looks so cool. So I know there's another one on the 4th, and I think it's just like anybody with a lightsaber go to the park and they just take like a big giant group photo or just like fun Instagram posts or stuff like that. I know Ashley Eckstein has shown up to them before, so that's cool. I could probably put the blade in this too, but I feel like I'm definitely gonna knock something over if I do that because I have my one blade that I'm still using from the lightsaber that we built when we opened the Disneyland thing.
Yeah.
But
you need to get the shorter blade so that way when you want to like showcase it in your house without getting the long blade out, you just got the little short blade.
That's a good idea. You know, there's like four sizes now because there's like the small one that's like the kid-sized one or like Yoda-sized, and then there's the one that you get when you build the lightsaber, and then there's a larger one above that. But then I think there's like a smaller. There's like I like positive the four. I don't know the dimensions. You know.
Also,
I'm no scientist. I don't know these things.
I'm really mad because I just realized that my wife usually she listens to the show in the background while she is working. And so Rhino,
I just blew the secret.
He did. So Rhino got me the lightsaber and we exchanged it and everything.
A gift.
And not if she checks Venmo, then she knows it's not a gift.
Yeah, I was going to say wink, wink.
And so I was like, oh, shoot, I'm not ready to tell her that I have it yet because she will kill me for buying it.
With the lightsaber.
Yeah, quite literally. She'll just hit me with that hilt and it won't be a good time. It's very heavy. So on our bookshelf that we have in our dining room area, I kind of hid the box under like Disneyland mementos that we have. And
don't come clean right now. If she didn't hear you yet.
Rhino, I promise you, she has listened in every single week that she's at work. So I know
I was
she's
like,
hearing
now
this.
you're telling her where the body's buried.
Well, it's, you know what? You got to build the house. Whoa, okay. Well, I cut away, so do it again one more time. One more time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, I finished your story. Tell your wife where your
bodies are.
Your little box of sins. Where are those?
Okay, I'm uncomfortable with that. So
you keep cutting away from me every time I turn it on.
Okay, do it.
Hold on. Here we go.
Fantastic.
Too cool.
Blue. And then it turns off just like that. Yep.
That's
and
so
then you
cool.
think to yourself, what is wrong with me? What am I going to do with these? Why do I have them? Because looking at them brings me a moment of happiness in a stressed out life, and whatever. I'll make an extra couple paintings or something.
Did you have to
No,
wait for a
actually,
long time?
I woke up very early, 7 a.m., and I was at the park, but like right at opening. I have not done that I'm actually really proud of myself. So I was like parked and like walked up. You know, the park had already like started letting people in. So I think I was going through the turnstile at like 9, well, like a few minutes after 9. It would have been like 9:10 or something like that. And I just walked into Galaxy's Edge, and I was like, "Oh gosh, where's the line? They're gonna have a sign, and I'm gonna have to be meeting the sign, and this is gonna take me hours or whatever." And I walked up to Doc Undar's, and there was probably about like 30 people in line, and so I just got in line, and I'm like, "Okay, you know what? This isn't too bad." And I know that when it goes inside, it's gonna go back and forth and everything like that. So I was like, "This will probably be like." Probably like an hour or two or something like that. And a cast member walked up to me and they were like, I said, "Oh, is this, they're like, are you in line to buy something? And I was like, yes. I was like, a lightsaber. And they said, okay, do you know which one you want? And I said, yeah, the Cal Kestis, if you still have it. And they were like, do you need to see it before you buy it? And I said, no, I know I already want it. And so they literally like, okay, come with me. And they walked me right up to the register on the side and I bought it. So it literally waited 5 minutes. And I had mine and Craig's before my friend could even deal with her problem at guest relations. And so I sat down and outside of Docking Bay 7, and there was a gentleman, a gentleman celebrating his 18th birthday. He was there with his parents who had also bought one. And they were like, yeah, we wanted to build one, but the reservations were all full. And so I was like, oh, well, at least you got this like really cool one. And he was like, he sat the box down. He's like, do you know how to open it? And I was like, you push the button. And he was like, he pushed it, nothing happened. I'm like, well, you got to push and pull the top of the box open and stuff. But then I couldn't figure out how to put the lightsaber together and he couldn't figure out how to put the lightsaber. So I was like, why don't you stay here and I'm going to go figure it out. So it was fun to have that, like, it's fun when you go to something like this. It reminds me of like when we were on the Halcyon, like when you're there and you're like, this deep into something, like you're not going to meet somebody that's going to be there and like make fun of you or judge you. There's like, it's fun to just see somebody else kind of going through it too. So it was really cool to be like, oh, this is his first like lightsaber he's gotten here and legacy one. And like, and I came back and showed him and I was like, okay, this piece has to go in here. And like, so I don't know. That was a fun moment. And I really honestly did not expect to like walk through that line so quick. So I was very happy for that. Thank you. Because I do honestly feel like things at Oga's are not Oga's. I'm sorry. Doc Undar's are not always, I feel like super efficient because the lightsaber hilts ended up either being way more popular than they thought they were or what. So there's like always a line filling that place. So that I feel like they finally, hopefully for whatever lightsaber they release next, this will be the same thing. Not that I'm getting it. I told myself no more unless they release Qui-Gon Jinn's from episode 1.
That's it. Everyone has a different purpose for lightsabers. I use mine in case of home evasions. I think, not home evasions, but invasions.
Invasions.
I kind of expect, like, you know, if someone is ever breaking into my house, that I'll pull out one of the lightsabers and, you know,
you'll scare them off with those neon colors. I'm coming at you. I've been to a rave.
Either that,
I'm on something.
It's going to be like a Raiders of the Lost Ark situation when the guy comes up with the giant sword and starts swinging it around and trying to taunt Indy. And, well, we all know how that works out. But, yeah, I'll just keep pretending. Yep. That's why I have all my lightsabers. So we're creating a lightsaber force, and it will protect us from at least the Sith people out there.
I do want to film like a video or something fun someday. Take some like cool pictures. You know, now that we have outfits, Star Wars created outfits and stuff like that, I'd love to like, I don't know. I love fun photography, things like that you can do with friends. And Star Wars Celebration is coming up, so I was like, oh, that'll be fun. I don't know that I'll bring this lightsaber though. I mean, it's lighter than the ones you build at Savi's, but it's still heavier. Like the Obi-Wan Kenobi one is so light. And this one is kind of in the middle because I have another one that's a little heavy. But it's interesting because the belt holder is on the top of this too. So it's the first one I have where you hold it, when you clip it onto your belt, it's like pointing straight up at you. So, you know, if the lightsaber turns on, you just impale yourself. It's fine.
No.
Cut your arm off.
Yeah, dangerous.
Yeah.
Dangerous. Okay.
It's the Christmas Story, but the Star Wars version of it. Yeah. You can't have a lightsaber, Luke. You'll cut your arm off.
You cut your arm off. You'll cut your arm off.
And then it's just Obi-Wan Kenobi shoving him down a slide on Tatooine with his foot instead of Santa.
Fantastic.
Where's this movie? I want to film this movie.
Really dark, Rhino.
Yeah, it's all good. Hey, well, let's move on from this.
Took up a lot of time. I'm sorry.
It really did, and you know, we didn't. None of us helped it. Yeah. So, Denny, you go.
Okay. So when I was in Epcot last Wednesday covering the new walkway, and just getting pictures of all that and putting it up, you know, on the site and stuff. in an article and then on social. I was rounding the World Showcase, just taking pictures for social, and there were cast members outside of the World Showplace Event Center, which is located in between the Canada and UK pavilions. And it's normally, they'll have special things in there. They've, on a couple of food and wine festivals recently, they've had booths back in there when they've needed to, when they were trying to promote physical distancing. So there were cast members out front who had a sign that it was for, they were doing voting for America's Funniest Videos. And so I stumbled upon this and said, wait a second, what's going on? So they were bringing in groups of guests who on the spot could sign a waiver to say, yes, they'll take part in this. No, they won't take pictures inside. They'll follow the rules, all that jazz. And you could go inside. And those who were, everyone who was age 8 and up got a free t-shirt. So I have a t-shirt right here. How cool is that? So they had us all go inside. They said it would be about 15 minutes. And we actually got to watch, I think it was the 9 finalist videos. And the episode that I got to vote as part of will air on the 15th, I think. And that family will win $100,000. So I was like, wait, what?
Wow.
So that's what they were doing. A producer came out on stage and welcomed us, let us know what the process was going to be. We all had our ballots in front of us. They played a video with Alfonso Ribeiro addressing us, as Walt Disney World guests. And this is, we've taken time during our vacation to do this and thanked us for that. Like, it was really cool. And then we watched the videos and then voted for the one that we wanted the most. And then we were given our pick of t-shirt size on the way out the door. And we were thanked profusely for doing this. And I was like, wait, what? Like, you're thanking me. However, this is such a cool thing. And someone on Twitter, when I put it up on Twitter, someone said, this is stuff you would have seen back in the day in Hollywood studios, or maybe it would have been more appropriate in Hollywood studios. They probably just needed a big enough space, and that's why they did it over in Epcot. But for whatever reason, I was just really excited about it because, we talk about so many times things that are disappearing from Walt Disney World and how just the nickel and diming of things. This was completely free. Yes, I was giving of my time. I got in and needed to wait about 20 minutes until 2:00 hit. And then I got to watch the videos and vote, but it was just the coolest thing to be able to take part in. And I just want to virtual high five to Disney, whoever approved, whatever executive at ABC or whomever said, hey, let's have some of the Disney World guests vote on this. That's a win-win, because now I'm invested in watching that episode to see which video won. Was it the one that I voted for or not? And if so, which one? And I get a free t-shirt, and it was just something completely delightful in the midst of a park day. Something I didn't count on, but something that really plussed the whole experience. So
fantastic. And I like that it's America's Funniest Home Videos, because let's be real.
Yes.
AFV has been on the air for years and years and years, but when we all talk about it, we're really talking about our memories of watching Bob Saget on America's Funniest Home Videos. So that's the one you really want more than anything else. So quick update. If anyone has a spare bedroom in Orlando, I think I might be getting kicked out of my house for a little bit.
Was she listening? Oh, no.
She's listening. She's listening.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Bless
Kylie,
you,
it was an extra birthday gift.
Kylie, I love you. I really do.
You sent me the thing.
Okay. Hey, Jackie, why don't you give us your thing that made you happy in the past week at Disney?
Absolutely. So I stayed at Disney Riviera Resort this past weekend, And I had some 2020 Disney Vacation Club points that were going to just be lost if I didn't use them by March 31st. So, yeah, I needed to just tear myself out of my house where I've been nice and cozy for a couple of years and just go down there. And I decided to just sort of do most of my focus on Epcot and specifically the World Showcase in Epcot, just to kind of get in there a little slowly. It was weird because when I got to my room, I sent my room number via my Disney Experience app, so I didn't have to go check in or anything. I just went straight to my room, and I had booked a preferred view because that was all that was available. So I walked in and opened the drapes, and I was really surprised at the preferred view. I was on the first floor of the resort, which I didn't realize there were guest rooms on the first floor of Disney's Riviera Resort. The lobby is on the second floor. So that was just weird to me at first. But Craig's showing you guys my view, and I was like, this is interesting. And I was a little bit like, gosh, I really wish I was just up a few floors, anything really. I thought about calling a couple of people that I showed the view to, that I should call and ask if they could move me. But then I decided I was going to go over to Epcot, and my room was just literally a few steps away from the Skyliner. And so that was so incredibly cool and made me really happy because it was so easy to just hop on that Skyliner and be over at Epcot. Within like 20 minutes, I was standing in Epcot. So that was really, really, really cool. And my second night there, I went over again to Epcot, and I grabbed a bite to eat at the Yorkshire County Fish Shop. And then I stayed for Harmonious. I have never seen Harmonious. So this past weekend was the first one. And I don't know. I wrote an article about it when I first saw the debut. I don't feel a whole lot differently about it, but I'm going to write an article about it. So stay tuned for that.
Fantastic. I will be at the edge of my seat waiting for Jackie's review on that. And thank you for sharing, Jackie. And I'm going to just wrap mine up real quick here because we are running out of time. Went from this was going to be the shortest episode we've ever done to now inevitably probably going longer after we go over our final housekeeping. But I'll keep mine to like 30 seconds. I made a video about it that I'll probably be releasing in the next couple days. But I was lucky enough last night to get evac'd off the People Mover. And it was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I was the very last person to get on before it completely broke down. And so my evac journey wasn't that fun. It was like, I think it was like 100-yard walk back to the station, but it was still cool. That's one of the attractions that I have never been evacuated from before. So I can add it to my list. There's not a lot that I've been evac'd off, but I enjoy the experience every time just because it's like something different. I went there solely to just film a ride through of it because it's been a while since we filmed one, and I wanted to show off the Tron construction area as well too. But what could have just been another average ride on the People Mover ended up being a experience that I won't forget for a while. So that was my cool thing that happened last night. Yeah, it was very fun. But okay, awesome. Denny, I know you probably have a lot to go over with DizCon and some of that stuff. So do you want to go over that now before we wrap up?
Absolutely. So DizCon is happening. It was formerly it was called Diz Family Reunion. We are having DizCon this year. It is September 30th through October 1st. It's at Coronado Springs Resort, and it is going to be incredible. We have so many things to do over the course of those 2 days, and Stephen Amos and his team at Give Kids the World are just crafting an amazing experience. If you are at all interested in Disney memorabilia, there's going to be a huge auction that happens during the weekend. We're going to have a live Diz Unplugged show. We're going to have a little bit of anything and everything. The vendor hall will be twice as big as it was last year. Like, there's just so much happening, and we would love for you to be a part. If you want any details at all, head to gktw.org/DizCon, DISCON. You'll find all the speakers, the panelists, the celebrities who will be along for the ride. And as Stephen and his team get updates and new celebrities are signed and joining the weekend, which is happening and will continue to happen, they will update that site and make sure that you have all the information that you need. There's a 2-day ticket for the convention, and it's $99. If you want to split the days, the first day I think is $59, the second one is $69, or maybe it's $49 and $59. All the information is there on the site. And then, of course, we are having our Epcot After Hours party on October 1st, starting at 10:30 p.m. That is also Epcot's 40th anniversary. To get to be in that park for an exclusive event is going to be the bomb. So that ticket is $199. It'll last, the party will last until 12:30. We'll have exclusive, just meet and greet opportunities, neat things to eat. We'll have the run of the France, UK, and Morocco pavilions, and we will get to ride Remy's Ratatouille adventure. So lots of fun to be had. Definitely check out the website. You can email, if you have any questions, you can email Stephen Amos at stephen@gktw.org if you're interested in donating things for the auction, or if you have any other questions. Of course, you can always reach out to me as well, and I can help you out.
Okay, Denny, thank you very much. That was excellent information. Yeah. And then also I have to bring up Podcast Cruise. Whatever number 0.0 it is, there, of course, are still staterooms available if you want to join us for Podcast Cruise. And the dates on that, if I'm remembering correctly, are May 16th through the 20th. It is a 4-night cruise on the Disney Dream. And, of course, we'll be having lots of fun activities, the Jody Benson concert, what else did we say? Meet? I don't even remember. I can't. And we also are like being told don't talk about too much until we have official details and stuff. Yep. So I don't even remember what's been talked about in our meetings versus what we have announced. Jody Benson, right?
Yes, we have announced Jody Benson. There will be other things, and those other things will be nailed down and disseminated forthwith. TBD. So if you want to go on Podcast Cruise with us, obviously get in touch with a Dreams Unlimited travel agent or your Dreams Unlimited travel agent, and they will be able to help you out. Go to dreamsunlimitedtravel.com, and it will be right there on the homepage with it. And then finally, we are, of course, also having our Patreon after show as soon as this is over, like we always do. And we'll probably be talking a lot about the Academy Awards and other things that have kind of popped up in our worlds this week. Of course, Patreon is a place where we have extra content that we wouldn't normally have anywhere else on the Diz Unplugged or the Diz, and lots of exclusive stuff like Pete's solo shows at the $10 tier, exclusive shows and random things from Rhino, Fiasco, and myself at the $5 tier. But the Patreon after show is available for all tiers involved. So if you want to join us for that, patreon.com/DizUnplugged. But I believe that's going to do it for us this week, unless anyone else has any housekeeping left. Keep an eye out. Jackie and I are going to have a snack video coming up soon, so keep an eye out on the Disney Dining channel. We went to the Grand Cottage at the Grand Floridian the other day, and we had a snack smorgasbord. So we have documented our adventure, and I'm sure it'll be quite the opus. It'll be coming out soon.
Yes, it's what I will be editing later on tonight. So I'm looking forward
Craig.
to it.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. But as for the Diz Unplugged, that's going to do it for this episode. Please, everyone, take the time and hit the thumbs up if you haven't done so yet. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and then leave us any comments, questions, video suggestions, so that way we know what content you want to see in the future. And once again, dreamsunlimitedtravel.com if you would like to support us more. Book your Disney vacation through them. But that's going to do it for us this week on the Diz Unplugged. We'll see you again real soon with another episode of the Diz Unplugged. Take care. Bye-bye. Have a great week.